And a konnichiwa from Yoyogi National Stadium Gymnasium number 2 in Tokyo. It is raining outside, but it's very comfortable inside. It is day 2 of the WUBS, the World University Basketball Series. And game 2 today is a matchup between the University of the Philippines and Sydney University. Both teams lost yesterday, are now battling for redemption and the 5th place spot. My name is Zach Ikema, and I'll be handling the play-by-play duties for this game. So, let's take a look at results from last year when De La Salle was the champion. Korea University, who defeated the University of the Philippines yesterday, came in second last year. And National Chengchi University, who just played and defeated Hong Kong University, came in third. The two Japanese teams, Nitai Dai Nippon Sports Science University, came in 5th, and the JUBF Select team came in 6th. Take a look at past champions. So it was De La Salle last year and National Chengchi University 2 years ago, and then another Filipino school, Ateneo de Manila University, in 2022. So far, 3 WUBSs, 2 Filipino champions. Who will be crowned champions this year? Of course, De La Salle moving on to the semifinals. So we'll see how this year shakes out. And let's take a look at, this is the mission of the World University Basketball Series, which is an international basketball championship for individual university teams established in 2022 to elevate the level of university basketball in Asia. It aims to create a stage where passionate and ambitious young talents who represent the world can shine. And this is all happening at the mecca of amateur basketball in Japan, Yoyogi National Stadium, Gymnasium number 2. Taking a look at the 8 teams competing in this year's tournament. So there's De La Salle, the reigning champs, University of Sydney, who are playing right now, Korea University, NSSU, Nitai Dai, National Chengchi University, also a powerhouse from Chinese Taipei, the JUBF Select team, which will be playing later today in the semifinals. So Nitai Dai and JUBF have both moved on to the semifinal bracket. The University of Philippines, who are going to be playing right now, and also Hong Kong University. So we'll look at the tournament bracket, and this is what it looks like. So as you see yesterday, De La Salle defeated NCCU and moved on to the semifinals. They will be playing later today. JUBF Select team defeated Hong Kong University. Nitai Dai defeated Sydney University, and Korea University in a 4-point victory defeated the University of Philippines. So those 4 teams, the 2 Japanese teams in this tournament, are moving on to the semifinals. Meanwhile, the 5th place game, if you look at the bottom right graphic, this is the consolation bracket. So NCCU earlier defeated Hong Kong University, and coming up right now is a game between Sydney University and the Fighting Maroons, who are fighting beginning battle for 5th place. Taking a look at the schools, here is Sydney University. It's the 3rd consecutive year that they are taking part in this tournament. They finished 4th last year. And yesterday they had a chance to defeat NSSU, Nitai Dai, on the last shot of the game, but came up short. So they are now in this consolation bracket. But nevertheless, they are a powerhouse in Australia. Let's take a look at the Sydney University roster today. Number 2, Iggy Mitchell. Number 3, Brandon Salas. Number 5, Jesse Weinstein. Number 6, Chandler Skelton. Number 7, Jake Weinstein. Number 9, Johnny Woodcock. Number 10, Keanu Goring. Number 11, Robbie Moore. Number 14, Mitch Smith. Number 17, the big man, the 7-footer, Harry Evans. Number 21, Josh Spark. And number 76, Ben Williams. Taking a look at the guy to look at, yes, he just made that layup there. Number 11, Robbie Moore. He is the 4th-year senior. Yesterday, he scored 13 points, 4 rebounds. You know, obviously a factor at the combo guard position, both at the point and at the off-guard position. Good footwork there. But he is a veteran of this team, the heart and soul, the heartbeat of this team. This is for him the 3rd consecutive WUBS appearance. So, of course, last year Sydney finished 4th. This year the best they can finish is 5th. But, you know, they're fighting for more than just pride. Robbie Moore, obviously, also during the season, not only is he a student at Sydney University, but plays in the NBL 1 for the North Bears. So a standout player for Sydney University Lions. and taking a look at the University of the Philippines Fighting Maroons. So it's their first time in the WUBS, but they are the reigning WUAP champions. They also won the preseason cup last month. So they are actually the top dogs of the Philippines college basketball scene, even though they lost yesterday. They did get off to a slow start yesterday, lost to Korea. It was a 4-point loss, but now they are vowing for the top spot in the consolation bracket. Let's take a look at their roster. So they made some tweaks today. Number 2, Raylan Torres in the lineup today. Number 7, Gagate is in the lineup. He was scratched yesterday. Number 9, Francis Nyoruka. Number 10, Terrence Fortea, who had a great game yesterday. Number 13, Mark Belmonte. Number 16, Ray Remogat. Number 17, Miguel Palanca, also making the bench today. Number 19, Jerry Abagiano, the captain. Number 20, Janjan Felisilda. Number 30, Miguel Iniguez. Number 55, Gani Stevens. And number 77, Chico Briones Jr. Obviously, the guy we wanted to see shine yesterday was the captain, Jerry Abagiano, but instead it was this man right here, Gani Stevens, number 55. He's a huge, huge man. 13 points, 12 rebounds. He also chipped in 2 steals, but he is a handful, a 203 centimeter, a 6'8" center, and he almost played 30 minutes yesterday. And obviously a tough game yesterday, getting into the paint against Korea's swarming defense, but Gani Stevens, he really carried the load. Along with the other forwards on the team, Francis Nyoruka, he is hoping to hold up against Sydney. The matchup against Harry Evans, the 7-footer, will definitely be an interesting matchup today. So as we are almost underway here, 2 or 3 minutes to go before tip-off. This is the 4th annual WUBS, the second game on the slate today. Matchup between the UP Fighting Maroons versus the Sydney University Lions as we get prepared for 1:10 local time tip-off. We are at Yoyogi number 2. I like to call it the Deuce. It's just down the street from Harajuku Station. Harajuku, obviously known as the origin of kawaii culture. So, it's kawaii culture just down the street. These guys here are not necessarily the kawaii guys. They're the young, talented basketball brutes. So we are looking forward to a physical, spirited game today. Take a look at the officials for today. Yohei Oi is the crew chief. First umpire is Yutaka Hasegawa, and Kazuki Kuwabara is the second umpire. Very much looking forward to this matchup. And obviously the University of Philippines, like I said, reigning champions in the Philippines, and also Sydney University finished 4th last year. So, these two teams could have very easily been in the semifinals. Taking a look at the starting lineup as they are being introduced by the public address announcer, Patrick Yu. So Iggy Mitchell, again, yesterday he recorded a double-double. Brandon Salas, Jake Weinstein, the older brother of the Weinstein brothers, Robbie Moore, who we introduced earlier, and the 7-footer, the footer, Harry Evans. Harry Evans also has experience playing at a U.S. college. Indy Faithful is the head coach. Indy Faithful, actually a former player at Wofford College in the United States as well. So, and the starting lineup for the Philippines, number 2, Raylan Torres, number 7, Gagate gets the starting call here. Number 9, Francis Nyoruka, number 20, Janjan Felisilda, and number 77, Chico Briones. Chico Briones obviously had a big game yesterday. In the 4th quarter, he played all 10 minutes, scored all of his 10 points in the 4th quarter. And here's the head coach of the University of the Philippines, Goldie Monteverde. So Coach Monteverde not only changing up who's on the bench, but coming up with a different lineup today. going with a bigger lineup with Gani Stevens and Francis Nyoruka. And as you see, Sydney University, the one guy, Harry Evans, a 7-footer, really towers over everyone else. But still a very tall team as well. Sydney University, the average height, 191 centimeters, so that's 6'3" and change. The UP Fighting Maroons, a bit taller, 193 centimeters on average, a 6'4" average height team. So we are getting ready for tip-off. A very exciting Game 2 on the day. Game 6 on the WUBS slate. As you see, Robbie Moore bump fisting the other players on the team. Yesterday, as I said, Sydney University lost the close one to NSSU. It was a 1-point game. They gave up way too many fouls is probably the difference in the game. Gave up way too many free throws to NSSU. So as we tip off, Harry Evans wins the tip off. Here's Robbie Moore. Philippines gets the hand on it. And a steal. Here's Chico Briones to Gani Stevens going downhill. Here's the layup to open up the scoring for the University of the Philippines. Yesterday, the University of the Philippines allowed a 1-19 run against Korea, so obviously this is a much better start already. Here's Harry Evans working from the top of the key. Robbie Moore using the screen. Robbie Moore stops, kicks it out. Here's Brandon Salas, spin move in the nick of time, but misses the shot. And playing fast is the Fighting Maroons here, UP. Oh, but they do call Chico Briones had stepped out of the line there. So out of bounds, a turnover there. Yesterday, UP struggled with 10 turnovers in the first half. Here's Raylan Torres, who scored 6 points and recorded 2 rebounds yesterday. So the officials, the table officials and the crew, the officiating crew conferring. An early stoppage here. So far, Gani Stevens with the layup to open up the scoring. Here's Harry Evans yesterday. He had 8 rebounds. And as you see, Brandon Salas. So Sydney University going with the same starting lineup as yesterday, whereas the UP Fighting Maroons making some tweaks. John Felisilda pictured there, making the starting lineup today. So, here's Iggy Mitchell. Iggy Mitchell faking the layup, no good. Gani Stevens gets the ball. Here's John Felisilda pushing it. Felisilda using the Stevens screen. Felisilda from the corner. Chico Briones, the 3 is no good. Robbie Moore. Robbie Moore bringing it up. Robbie Moore guarded by Raylan Torres. And here is Jake Weinstein to Brandon Salas. Using the Harry Evans screen. Salas, oh, and blocked. Blocked by Nyoruka. Oh, no, but they're going to call a goaltend on that. So basket interference. They're going to count the basket. So I will say one thing about the UP Fighting Maroons uniforms today. They're wearing the road blacks, and the numbers are a lot easier to see today. John Felisilda to the corner. Raylan Torres, the 3, no good. The rebound, UP gets another chance. Torres pulls up and banks it in. So it's 4-2 for UP. Yesterday with the white uniforms, it was really hard to see the jersey numbers. I'm sure everyone who saw our broadcast probably thought the same thing. Here's Jake Weinstein. Jake Weinstein, the 3 is no good. Nyoruka with the rebound. Nyoruka Pushing it ahead. Gani Stevens, a finger roll. So UP getting off to a quick start. Gani Stevens with 4 points already. Robbie Moore. Over to Iggy Mitchell. Iggy Mitchell has size and speed. Left hand, he spins. Tries to bank it in, it's no good. And the ball is out of bounds. Last touch by UP, it's Sydney ball. Harry Evans with the handoff. Jake Weinstein. From the corner, it's Robbie Moore. The three is no good. And the loose ball again. Last touch by UP. So University of Sydney still with 2 points, but they get another opportunity. The inbounds to Iggy Mitchell. Iggy Mitchell, the quick three-point attempt. It's good. So, Sydney University comes back with 3 points. It's a 6-5 game. Here's Raylan Torres. John Filisilda inside to Nyoruka. Nyoruka fighting for it. Left-hand layup is good. And so UP tacks on another couple. Here's Robbie Moore directing orders. Robbie Moore. Spraying and Jake Weinstein, the corner three, no good. Iggy Mitchell with the second chance opportunity, and it goes in. So it's a 1 point game. So a lot of second chance opportunities for both teams so far. Here's John Filisilda, the crossover move. John Filisilda gives it up. Harry Evans. Bounce pass to Iggy Mitchell. Iggy Mitchell with the reverse lay-in. So Sydney University takes the lead. 9-8, Iggy Mitchell with 7 points already. Francis Nyoruka. Oh, tries a pass to the cutting player, but it's a kickball violation.
And we'll have a substitution.
And here's a substitution. Number 14, Mitch Smith comes in for Harry Evans. Nyoruka loses the handle. Iggy Mitchell brings it up. Iggy Mitchell. Handoff to Robbie Moore. Fakes it. Robbie Moore. Back to Mitchell. Mitchell to Weinstein. Weinstein driving. Gets into the paint. Almost loses the handle. The left-hand layup. He makes it. So Sydney University now with a 3-point lead. Here's John Filisilda. Filisilda, handoff to Raylan Torres. Torres getting bumped to Nyoruka. Briones with the corner three. He knocks it down.
Number 77, Chico Briones.
They're going to call it a long two, and it's a 11-10 score. And Iggy Mitchell is fouled by Francis Nyoruka.
Substitution, University of Sydney, number 6, Chandler Skeleton.
So, a couple guys checking in for both teams. That's Ray Remogat checking in. Also Mark Belmonte checking in for UP.
Foul, UP, number 9, Nyoruka, first personal.
And Chandler Skelton has checked in for Sydney University. Here's Iggy Mitchell, guarded by Mark Belmonte. Using the Mitch-Smith screen. Step back, Iggy Mitchell. The three, short. Skelton goes after the second chance, but can't corral it. Here's Remogat. Entry pass to Gani Stevens. Backing in, Gani Stevens still has the ball, he's fouled. As you can see, Gani Stevens powering in there.
Number 2, Mitchell, first personal, team's first.
And he is fouled by Iggy Mitchell. That's his first and the team's first. And so here's
at the line, number 55, Stevens, 2 shots.
Gani Stevens with the free throw attempts. In the preseason cup, he was a 61% free throw shooter. And yesterday, he was 3 for 4 from the line against Korea University. And he makes both. So UP retakes the lead.
Substitution, University of Sydney, number 5, Jesse Weinstein.
And for Sydney University, number 5, Jesse Weinstein checks in. So both the Weinstein brothers on the court together now. Weinstein, that's Jesse to Mid-Smith. Mid-Smith to Jake. Here's Jake using the Mid-Smith screen. Jake sends it to his younger brother, Jesse, who floats it. It's no good. And a kick ahead. Mark Belmonte lays it in a beautiful layup on the fast break. So UP now takes the 3-point lead. Here's Iggy Mitchell. Iggy Mitchell gets the lay-in. So a very tight, fast-paced game thus far. Oh, Iggy Mitchell steals it. Iggy Mitchell. He was fouled on the breakaway there.
Foul UP, number 16, Ray Remogat.
So the foul was on number 16, Ray Remogat. And as Briones goes back to the bench, here's Miguel Iniguez, number 30, who checks in. The inbound to Jake Weinstein, banging in against Gani Stevens is Mitch Smith. Good strong move. So Sydney now retakes the lead. A back and forth affair early on. From long range, the 3 is no good. And here's Mark Belmonte. It's short. So a couple 3s missed for UP. Jesse to Iggy Mitchell. To Jake, back to Jesse. Here's Jake here. Jake Weinstein. Jake Weinstein with a nice crossover move in the paint. Sprays it. Here's Skelton. The 3-pointer knocks it down. So Chandler Skelton, who did not play yesterday, getting playing time early today and knocks down the early 3. So Sydney with a 4-point lead. To the corner, the skip pass, the jumper, no good. And there's a foul call.
Foul on the University of Sydney, number 14, Mitch Smith.
So the foul is on number 14, Mitch Smith.
And substitution for UP,
His first.
number 17, Miguel Palanca.
And then for Sydney, it's the second team foul. Checking in for UP is number 17, Miguel Palanca. So he was a scratch yesterday, but he is in the lineup today. Taking time to get the inbounds pass. Here's Jerry Abajano, who also entered the game. But a turnover here, Sydney University. Jake Weinstein, it's blocked. Blocked by Palanca. And then it's Remogat. He draws the foul on the shot attempt.
Foul, University of Sydney. Number 5, Jesse Weinstein.
Jesse Weinstein is called for the foul. As you see here, it was Remogat speeding up and drawing the foul. Great acceleration. Here's Ray Remogat, who got the starting assignment as the starting point guard yesterday. Coming off the bench today. And Keanu Goring just checked in. As you can see, yesterday the UP fight chants were really getting loud at the end of the game. Of course, they came up short against Korea. Jesse Weinstein to Iggy Mitchell. Iggy Mitchell Switching on is Polanka. Mitchell, the long two, it's contested. And there is a foul on the floor. Indy Faithful, the Sydney University head coach, today using a couple guys who did not get any playing time yesterday, using Chandler Skelton and also Keanu Goring in the early going here. Oh, quick pass, nice inbounds, and the foul. So the N1 play to Iggy Mitchell, perfectly executed, perfectly drawn up. It was Belmonte's foul. And for UP, it's the 4th team foul. So Iggy Mitchell at the line. Iggy Mitchell yesterday shot 2 of 3 from the free throw line. Sydney now with a 6-point lead in the early going. Remogat pushing the ball, kick ahead pass, now back to Remogat. Remogat trying to get a Belmonte screen, forces a switch. Belmonte on the mismatch. Belmonte powers through.
Number 13, Belmonte.
So Belmonte and UP come back with 2 points, but now it's Sydney in the half-court offense, moving the ball. Jesse Weinstein knocks down the mid-range jumper. So it's a 6-point lead. The 18-year-old Jesse Weinstein. And a long 3-point attempt is short. Sydney gets the rebound. Scramble for the ball, Smith. It's a jump ball situation.
Jump ball situation. And position is on.
So possession arrow.
Jump ball station, possession wa Sydney Daigaku desu.
Possession arrow for UP. So UP down 6. Already allowing Sydney University 23 points, so. Here's Remogat, shake and bake, step back, Remogat. The 3 is no good. Iggy Mitchell with the rebound, kick ahead to Goring. Perfect pass, perfect find by Iggy Mitchell. And Keanu Goring gets his first points of this tournament. UP, nice pass inside. The number 13, Mark Belmonte. Sydney leading 25-19. Smith drives it, takes it in himself. No good. UP with the rebound, now pushing it, going the other way. Mark Belmonte pulls up for the 3. It's too strong. Smith with the rebound. And a baseball pass, a quick pass to Iggy Mitchell. Back to Jesse Weinstein. And another handoff back to Weinstein. Weinstein drives, a nice pass to Smith, but Smith can't finish. And a kick ahead. Here's UP, the 3-point attempt, no good. That was by Iniguez. Now with 30 seconds to go, roughly a 13-second shot clock, game clock differential, but a foul call there. Oh, pardon me, an 8-second violation. Sydney taking their time, bringing the ball up to the front court. So a turnover, a costly turnover here when they could have possibly added a couple more points going into the final, into the next quarter. And Ben Williams checks in now, number 76 for Sydney University. And Johnny Woodcock, also another player who did not enter the game yesterday, is now on the court. So it's an all full team effort. The 3-point attempt is no good. Oh, Woodcock loses the handle, and UP gets another opportunity. Jerry Abajano from the clear out. Abajano, and draws the foul. So Jerry Abajano, the captain of UP,
From the University of Sydney, number 11,
Yesterday was
Robbie
limited to
Moore,
just
from the
7 minutes of
Team
playing time, which
Sport.
is surprising. Obviously, he started the game, pardon me. Yeah, he did start the game yesterday, but he had 2 early fouls and got into foul trouble
First timeout.
and did not play much. And now here is a timeout called. 7.8 seconds left in the first quarter. So Sydney University trying to mull over how to defend UP here on what could be the final play of this quarter. Maybe they get a stop and can get one more possession out of it, but more likely than not, just trying to defend, trying to make sure that UP doesn't come away with any points in this opening quarter. Iggy Mitchell, as you can see, 12 points already in the first quarter. So he has been a big part of Sydney's offense in the first quarter, already 25 points. And here is the UP bench. As you can see, Gani Stevens had some early points, and he has 6 points thus far. Goldie Monteverde. I mean, you know, this is UP Fight and UP Pride. You know, these guys are the UAAP 87 season champions. Obviously, UP facing another deficit. Here's the captain, Jerry Abajano, making the first free throw. He ended up with just 2 points yesterday.
Jerry Abajano will be shooting one more.
Jerry Abajano was the university,
Got 2, got a shot.
the preseason cup MVP in the Philippines college ranks. It just ended last month. So here's Sydney. Oh. So they were trying to draw up a play here for their final possession. And it was last touch by UP. So it's Sydney ball. Sydney, Jesse Weinstein with the heave. It's no good. So a first quarter, a very fruitful one for Sydney University. Iggy Mitchell with 12 points. It is a 25-21 lead for the University of Sydney after one. So a 25-21 lead for Sydney University after one. As you look at the bench here, Indy Faithful giving directions here, but it was all Iggy Mitchell in this first quarter. Iggy Mitchell knocked down a 3 early. Then a nice pass from Robbie Moore to Iggy Mitchell for the layup. And then later, a 3-pointer by Chandler Skelton, who didn't play yesterday. And then again, from the inbounds, Iggy Mitchell gets the layup and the foul. And then later, this was Jesse Weinstein pulling up for the mid-range. And so, you know, Iggy Mitchell obviously leading the charge with 12 points. You know, we saw how great he was yesterday also against NSSU, but Iggy Mitchell actually played at the NBL level already. Iggy Mitchell has been a Sydney Kings developmental player, so a guy playing at a higher level, playing right now at Sydney University. So as the second quarter begins, here's Robbie Moore. Robbie Moore from the paint, sprays it. Ben Williams loses the handle. Last touch by UP. Touch by Seven Gagate. So pretty much a back and forth affair, but Sydney with a 4-point lead here. Oh, and the bucket is good. So that was Johnny Woodcock with the bucket. And here's UP coming back. Remogot's shot is no good. And here is Jesse Weinstein. Gives it up. And UP, Raylan Torres kicking it ahead. The corner, no. Abajano turned down the three, laid it in, but the attempt was no good. And here's a kick ahead to Ben Williams. Ben Williams getting some contact, getting the ball back, and it's swatted away. A great block there by Polanco. And here's Robbie Moore, Sydney University, getting the ball back. Robbie Moore to Jesse Weinstein. Inside. This was Johnny Woodcock, doesn't get the foul, a lot of contact. And here's UP. Inside and the lay-in. So 7 Gagate using his height. So UP now to within 4 again, and a foul call.
Foul by UP. Number 17, Palanga.
So foul on Polanca, number 17. That was the swat earlier by Polanca. But of course, UP kind of lost handle of the ball right after. But it has been a tight one throughout. Ben Williams from the corner, getting a lot of pressure from UP. Ben Williams again. And now, Jesse Weinstein, Ben Williams from the wing. The three attempt is no good, but Sydney gets the ball back. And again, this is Jake Weinstein getting the rebound, but can't get it to go. And UP kicks it ahead. This is Fortea inside, and now they get the layup plus the foul. 7 Gagate. So it's Fortea to Polanca, and then it was Gagate there to clean it up while drawing the foul.
And substitution for Lions, number 14, Mitch Smith.
Ben Williams is charged with the foul. So Gagate is there to attempt the N1 free throw. 7 Gagate, who did not play yesterday. So now it's a 1-point game. Mitch Smith looking for someone inside. Brandon Salas. Robbie Moore. Robbie Moore using the screen. Moore, no, gives up the ball. Oh, and slips. So UP player slipped, and the kick ahead, Mitch Smith with the layup. So for UP, no, we hope, I think it was Polanca who slipped and fell. He hit the deck. I hope he's okay. You can tell he's a little bit banged up there. John Felisilda checks in. So I think the player slipped on the signage there in the center circle. Meanwhile, Mitch Smith got the layup, and Sydney leads by 3. So kick ahead pass, another touch pass from the outside. Fortea yesterday with 3 threes, but Fortea couldn't get the 3 to go. Here's Raylan Torres, sidestep, 3, too strong. So UP not making a lot of those 3-point shots. Here's Robbie Moore. Robbie Moore, the layup attempt. He draws the foul and gets it to go. In fact, I think the updated stats tell me that right now UP has not made a 3. Actually, they're 0 for 9 from the 3-point line. And that was John Felisilda's first foul of the game. Robbie Moore with 13 points yesterday. Tied for the team lead in points with Iggy Mitchell. And here is UP. Oh, nice slam. Number 17, Polanca, who hit the deck earlier, seemed to be okay and made the dunk. And here's Robbie Morris, 3 misses. Mitch Smith gets the rebound and he gets fouled.
Foul UP. Number 10, Fortea. First personal and team's third. Substitution UP,
That
number
was
55.
great passing against the press, the Sydney press, and they were able to break out of it and get those passes through, finding Palanca, who slammed the ball. So now here's Mitch Smith with the free throw attempt. Mitch Smith, who ended up scoreless yesterday, but he did have 5 rebounds. Mitch Smith actually in last year's WUBS averaged 13 points a game. He makes both free throws and Sydney has a 6-point lead. Here's John Felisilda. Gani Stevens is back in and using that screen. They are going to call a foul on Brandon Salas for Sydney University.
Substitution UP, number 19, Abadiano.
So Abadiano checks back in for UP. Felisilda using the Stevens screen inside to Stevens. Stevens back out to Felisilda. And here's the Fortea 3-point attempt. It's no good. Sydney gets the rebound. Jake Weinstein handing it off to Mitch Smith. Good ball movement here. Jake Weinstein getting smothered in the paint here. Robbie Moore in the short corner. Back out to Jake Weinstein. Shot clock under 4 seconds now. 2 ticks, running out of time. The shot, and it's too strong, but Sydney gets another opportunity and another 3-point attempt. This time by Ben Williams is no good. Here's UP inside to Gani Stevens, and he draws the quick foul. So, obviously Gani Stevens so far with 6 points, but, and of course yesterday he was the leading scorer for UP. Getting the ball inside, using the high-low seems to be working for UP. That was Mitch Smith who was called with the foul. And now Francis Nyoruka checks in, so 2 bigs on the floor for UP. They're trying to size up here. Abadiano with a 3-point attempt, and that's short. So now all 11 3-point attempts for UP have not gone in. And here's Robbie Moore going coast to coast. Robbie Moore with the layup, found the lane. And here's Iggy Mitchell with the steal. So UP, another turnover, and here's Iggy Mitchell with the move, the spin, and he draws the foul.
Number 55.
So Gani Stevens, as you can see, grabbing Iggy Mitchell on the spin. Team's fourth team foul, and UP calls a timeout here. Trying to make sure that this Sydney University lead doesn't get any bigger. Of course, yesterday they faced the early 19-1 deficit. This game has been fairly tight throughout, but now it's a 8-point difference. So Goldie Monteverde trying to get, well, first of all, UP obviously, aside from the defense, needs to be able to make some 3-pointers. Take a look at these, the differential here on the 3-pointers. Obviously Sydney only knocking down 2, so that's 20%, but UP going 0 for 13. So, they are historically a much better 3-point shooting team. In fact, in the preseason, it was Raylan Torres who shot 50%, and Abadiano shot 48%, Iniguez 40%, Fortea shot 37%. So, you have guys who are capable of knocking down these 3-pointers, but today, that's not been the case. Ray Remogat 0 for 3, Mark Belmonte 0 for 2, Raylan Torres 0 for 2. So it's been tough on UP. They make even just 3 of these 3-point attempts and, they would be leading. So Iggy Mitchell makes the first free throw. Sydney University, who finished 4th in last year's tournament, and the UP Fighting Maroons competing in their first ever WUBS. Iggy Mitchell knocks down both, and it's a 10-point lead for the University of Sydney. Here's Terrence Fortea. Gets it ahead to Stevens. The handoff back to Fortea. Robbie Moore with a lot of pressure. John Felisilda back to Fortea. Fortea swings it. Nyoruka thinks about it, takes the shot. The three, it's no good. So yet another three that does not go in for UP. And here's Brandon Salas out to Iggy Mitchell. Iggy Mitchell's three is no good. Francis Nyoruka with the rebound. John Felisilda ahead of steam. Gives it to Bajano, a nice behind the back pass. The bounce pass, Felisilda the three, no good. Well, UP's gonna keep shooting it. Eventually they're gonna start to go in, right? The Scotty Stevens screen, Fortea, the pull-up, the mid-range, and that's no good. So a lot of shots missed in a row. Nyoruka gets the pass from Felisilda and gets the layup. So Nyoruka with 4 points today. It is now a single-digit deficit again. Robbie Moore to Harry Evans. Harry Evans hands off to Brandon Salas, using the Evans screen. Salas, layup is denied. And here's UP. Fortea trying to go himself, turns around, the fadeaway is good. So UP on a 4-0 run here. And now it's a timeout called by Indy Faithful and Sydney University. They did take a 10-point lead, and now UP coming back with a 4-0 run, making it a 6-point differential. That was Fortea with a nice turnaround jumper. Hard to defend that with all the fakes and the footwork. So Terrence Fortea, who finished with 14 points yesterday, and he knocked down 3 threes. So, you know, of course, UP is going to try and keep attempting these threes. I mean, just because they don't go in doesn't mean, you know, a lot of these are good looks. They're just not getting them in. They're 0 for 15 from the 3-point line. Eventually, these are going to go in. And, you know, obviously, that's kind of one of the keys for UP. The turnovers for both teams have been fairly low. And then let's take a look at Sydney University here. So even also for the Lions, they are 2 of 11 from the 3-point line. So, you know, they need to up their efficiency from the perimeter as well. But, you know, their biggest thing is, you know, to keep up the perimeter defense against UP. So far, UP, again, donut from the beyond the arc. But, you know, once they start making these threes in rhythm, it's going to be a tough sledding for Sydney University. Rebounding numbers are fairly similar, turnover numbers are fairly similar, so it's really just the 3 points that are making the difference here. Iggy Mitchell swings it. Now Robbie Moore gets it back. Using the Harry Evans screen or not. He stops. Harry Evans from the top of the key, the 3-pointer is no good. And here's UP. Trying to narrow the gap here. Terrence Fortea with a deep 3, and he knocks it down. So the Fighting Maroons, finally, their first 3-pointer on the 16th attempt. And then there's an offensive foul. Francis Nyoruka is down. He's been very physical the last 2 games. Take a look at this. Wow, so you know, that looked like an elbow that Nyoruka absorbed from Jake Weinstein. Yesterday there were a couple instances where UP, Nyoruka went down yesterday against Korea University as well. So he's feeling it on the jaw there. I guess he took it on the jaw.
Okay, back to the play. UP ball from the side.
So 3:12 left in the second quarter. UP now on a 7-0 run, trying to add to their run here. Abajano pulls up. The mid-range, no good. Yoruka, 2-3 chances to try and clean it up. He can't, but draws the foul.
Foul, Lions, number 17, Harry Evans. First personal.
Harry Evans is charged with the foul.
At the line, number 9.
And Yoruka goes to the line. Yoruka against Korea University yesterday had a double-double, 10 points, 10 rebounds. Yoruka yesterday was 4 for 7 from the free throw line against Korea University. So he knocks down both. And so now it is a 9-0 run by UP. It's a 1-point game. Oh, and pressure defense. Yoruka gets the steal and the bucket. So UP on an 11-0 run, and they take the lead. Here's Iggy Mitchell. Iggy Mitchell floats it. It is in and out. Loose ball. Brandon Salas thinks about it, skips it. Jake Weinstein, the three-pointer, in and out. Out of bounds, last touch by UP. It is still Sydney ball.
And substitution, Lions number 5, Jesse Weinstein.
So Jesse Weinstein checks in and subs out Jake, his older brother. 2:34 left in the second quarter. Jesse, the floater from Robbie Moore. Nice floater, so Sydney University retakes the lead. So, you know, after the UP 11-0 run, UP takes the lead, but Sydney retakes the lead. And here is, oh, Abajano gives up the ball. Here's Iggy Mitchell on the run, but slows it down. Sydney from the half court. Harry Evans. Jesse Weinstein. Robbie Moore thinks about it. Guarded by Yoruka. Uses the Evans screen. And now Jesse. And to Harry Evans with the slam. So Harry Evans with a demonstrative dunk. And Sydney University takes a 3-point lead. Here's Jerry Abajano using the Gani Stevens screen. The mid-range pull-up, he seems to like it, but he's way short. Iggy Mitchell snaking through. Mitchell taking it all by his lonesome. The layup is no good. And the rebound, UP. Fortea carrying the ball and is fouled. Brandon Salas is charged with the foul. It's his second personal foul.
UP number 77, Leonis. And number 30.
And subbing in for UP is Chico Briones. He was, I guess you could say a hero from yesterday's fourth quarter. He scored all his 10 points in the fourth quarter. Of course, UP still came up a little bit short. Fortea misses the free throw. Minute 20 left in this second quarter. So he misses both free throws, but UP gets the rebound. Belasilda to Fortea. Trying to find Gani Stevens this time. No, he shoots the three and knocks it down. So the second three for UP. This is probably not feeling so good for Sydney University because UP is still 2 of 13, rather 2 of 18 from 3. And the game is tied.
Number 6,
Chandler Skelton checking in for Sydney University. So the Lions get an opportunity at the free throw line.
Number 11, Moore, 2 shots.
Robbie Moore at the line. Robbie Moore, who averaged 11 points per game in last year's WUBS, and scored 13 yesterday. So he makes both. 2-point lead for Sydney University. Under a minute left now in the first half. John Philisilda with the drive. Can't get it to go. Sydney University, Jesse Weinstein bringing the ball up. Robbie Moore pulling up. No, he's blocked momentarily, but gets the ball back, and now UP comes up with the rebound, the kick-ahead pass. And the Fortea three-point attempt is no good. Robbie Moore gets the rebound. 30 seconds left in the first half. Robbie Moore. Ziggy Mitchell. Guarded by Seven Gagate. Ziggy Mitchell giving it to Jesse Weinstein. To Robbie Moore, handoff back to Jesse. Jesse using the Mid-Smith screen. Good pick and roll action. Mid-Smith gets the bucket and the foul. So Mid-Smith already with 8 points today. Held scoreless yesterday. So a great slip there by Mid-Smith, and UP calls a timeout here. So UP trying to draw up a good play coming out of the timeout after the free throw attempt by Mid-Smith here. So 10.2 seconds left. Still a 4-point game. It was a 25-21 score after the first quarter. And then Sydney actually took a 10-point lead. At one point it was 38-28, but then UP went on an 11-0 run to take the lead. But Sydney University has since retaken the lead. Indy faithful, and here's Goldie Monteverde going over the play for coming out of the timeout. So day 2 of the WUBS. This is game 2 on the slate today. This is the second game of the consolation bracket. NCCU from Chinese Taipei defeated Hong Kong University earlier. So the winner of this game between Sydney and UP will go on to face NCCU tomorrow for 5th place. Here's Mid-Smith. This is the free throw, but Sydney gets the rebound and gets the putback. That was Chandler Skelton. So another couple points added for Sydney at the very end of the second quarter. UP had no shot, so Sydney extends their lead. It's a 6-point lead, 48-42 at the half. Back here at Yoyogi, as you see, Sydney University with a 48-42 6-point lead on the Fighting Maroons from the University of the Philippines. So let's take a look at the first half highlights. So Sydney University, who finished 4th last year and now in the consolation bracket, as is UP, first timer at the WUBS in the consolation bracket after losing to Korea yesterday. So Iggy Mitchell gets it off early with a 3-point shot. And then here's UP. And that actually looked like a 3 by Briones, but it was a long 2. And we'll talk about this later, but the 3-point drop continued. Here's Iggy Mitchell making a move inside. So very highly skilled player, a young talent for Sydney University. And Iggy Mitchell here with the quick bucket and the foul. So it was a tight game early on. Meanwhile, UP powering through in the paint. That was Mark Belmonte. Belmonte finished with 6 points in the first half. And then on the break, here is Keanu Goring. Long pass from Iggy Mitchell. Meanwhile, UP. A lot of physicality down low in the paint, and it was Seven Gagate. Not in the lineup yesterday, but get some early points here. And then here is Robbie Moore. So this was in the second quarter. And then this is Terrence Fortea with the nifty turnaround move. And then this is Fortea from deep. So this was actually UP's first three-point made. They missed their first 15 three-point attempts. And that really limited their scoring. And Yoruka gets the steal and the bucket. So UP in the second quarter actually went on an 11-0 run to take the lead momentarily. But then Sydney coming back. Sydney Mitz-Smith. Mitz-Smith had 8 points in the first half. Iggy Mitchell had 14. So Sydney, so far a 6-point lead. As you can see, it's really the three-point shooting. And actually, Sydney University also with just 2 made threes. So, 50% clip. Meanwhile, UP missed their first 15 since they're 2 for 4, but still 11% from the three-point line. Rebounds pretty much the same. Turnovers the same. So the difference has really been actually the inside scoring, as you see. But again, the three-point shooting for UP really has been limiting their scoring in this game so far. Let's take a look at some highlights, individual highlights. We wanted to take a look at this guy, Robbie Moore, the veteran on the team. 13 points yesterday, 9 points in the first half already. Robbie Moore can do it inside and outside. At last year's WUBS, he averaged 11 points per game. Robbie Moore, who plays for the NBL 1 North's Bears. So he is the heart and soul of this Sydney University team. The fourth-year senior for Sydney University for Indy Faithful's guys. And here's Gani Mitchell, who we said, let's take a look at this guy. Well, all his scoring came in the first quarter, 6 points. As you can see, taking advantage of his big body, going downhill. Who's going to want to guard that guy in the paint, right? Especially in the restricted area. But 6.3 rebounds, 1 block for Gani Stevens. Gani Stevens yesterday had a double-double, 13 points, 12 rebounds. So a big game so far for Gani Stevens, probably coming up after this, just 6 points thus far, but a big first quarter. The third-year junior, the 203 centimeter, 6'8", big man, the center for UP. So first quarter, 4-point lead by Sydney. At the half, it's a 6-point lead. But again, within the second quarter, Sydney took a 10-point lead, but then UP went on an 11-0 run, at one point flipping the score. And then Sydney kind of took control again to take the 6-point halftime lead. So they sort of have regained the momentum, but I guess what is yet to be seen is whether UP can pick up their three-point shooting, because like I said, they're just shooting 10.5% from beyond the arc right now. And of course, yeah, the same could be said for Sydney, just 2 of 13. But, when these guys start shooting in rhythm, it could be even more high scoring. It already is high scoring for Sydney, 48 points. But once those three-point shots start to go in, this could be a very high scoring game. So UP, John Felisilda, Raylan Torres, swings it. Felisilda thinks about it. Raylan Torres, the catch and shoot. The three-pointer is no good, but there is a foul on the floor.
Foul lines number 5, Jesse Weinstein.
Jesse Weinstein is called for the foul. The inbounds, the quick pass to Francis Nyoruka, and he gets the slam. So, UP making it a 4-point game. 9:41 left. UP obviously, until last season, had another Francis Lopez, who's a very instrumental player for them, but he has now gone on and joined the FE Nagoya, the Japanese B1 team. So it's the other Francis Nyoruka stepping it up for UP, trying to fill those shoes. Jake Weinstein, the drive into the paint. His younger brother Jesse, the three-point attempt, no good. Raylan Torres gets the rebound momentarily, but Sydney gets it back. Iggy Mitchell with the three, he knocks it down. So Iggy Mitchell, who led Sydney with 14 points in the first half, now has 17 points. As you see, 3 assists and 4 rebounds, so a very well-rounded effort. A high-scoring effort, too. And here's a three-point attempt by UP, it's no good. Last touch by Sydney, it's UP ball. So again, UP starting the half with 2 missed three-pointers. Goldie Monteverde, the head coach, must be wondering, when are those threes going to start hitting? Oh, and they're going to call a 5-second violation. Now, it looked like there was a lot of grabbing as well, but regardless, they couldn't get the inbounds. They had a problem with that yesterday against Korea in the late moments of the game, too. These are things probably the team will continue to work on as they get ready for another UAAP season. Here's Nyoruka defending Iggy Mitchell. Iggy Mitchell, left hand layup, no good. Mitch Smith there to clean it up. Nyoruka defending, Nyoruka, good defense. And here's John Felisilda running like the wind. Chico Briones, the three-pointer. So he knocks it down. Chico Briones again, 10 points in the final frame yesterday. So now it's a 5-point game. And here's a foul by Francis Nyoruka. So great swing by Felisilda, Chico Briones, who knocked down 2 threes yesterday and scored 10 points in the fourth quarter, played all 10 minutes. Really stepped up late in the game. He was kind of the energizer that motored UP to make that comeback against Korea University. Of course, they came up short, hence they're playing in this consolation round. Jesse Weinstein to Robbie Moore, the handoff. Jesse Weinstein trying to drive to the paint, the bounce pass to Moore. Moore has nowhere to go though, but Mitch Smith there to clean it up. So Mitch Smith, great positioning under the rim. Helps Robbie Moore, who's stuck. Here's John Felisilda. Chico Briones gives it to Gani Stevens in the high post. Terrence Fortea fakes, and then step back. The three-pointer, he's made 2 already. Didn't get it to go, but Gani Stevens who cleans it up on the doorstep. Gani Stevens with 8 points on the game. Here's Mitch Smith. Jesse Weinstein, guarded by John Felisilda. Swings it to Iggy Mitchell. Iggy Mitchell pulls up. Iggy Mitchell knocks down the 3. So Iggy Mitchell's 3rd three-pointer of the game, and now he's up to 20 points. Sydney with an 8-point lead. Briones inside. And the shot is fouled there.
Number 7.
Palanca was fouled by Jake Weinstein. Miguel Palanca, who didn't get an opportunity to play yesterday. Palanca so far with 2 points. Palanca, the freshman power forward, 199 centimeters, about 6'7". As he knocks down the free throw. UP, this is the 2nd free throw. going through some changes during the offseason. Again, JD Kagulanga, last year's finals MVP, is gone. Francis Lopez is gone. Quentin Milora Brown is gone. So these young guys have to take over some valuable minutes here. Mitch Smith with a nice spin move. Can't get it to go. And here's Jake Weinstein who cleans it up. So Weinstein with 4 points today. Now a 9-point lead by Sydney University. Villasilla directing traffic. It's Fortea in the wing. Fortea driving baseline. Up, didn't know where to pass to and turns it over. Iggy Mitchell bounce pass to Jake Weinstein. So 11-point lead for University of Sydney, their largest lead of the night, and UP gives it up again. So a handoff to Robbie Moore. Robbie Moore, left-hand layup. Yeah, this is probably a good time for a timeout. UP, Goldie Monteverde wants to stop the bleeding as Sydney University goes on a run here. So far this quarter, it's a 14-7 quarter as Sydney adds to their lead. The Robbie Moore layup coming off the UP turnover. Goldie Monteverde facing their largest deficit of the afternoon, 13 points. And obviously turnovers are part of it. They limited their turnovers to 6 turnovers in the first half, but there's been a couple of them in this quarter and a couple breaks by Sydney University. Also, the perimeter defense as they give up a 3-pointer to Iggy Mitchell. And meanwhile, and this is Indy Faithful's guys here, the Lions trying to pull ahead in this third quarter. At one point again, in the second quarter, they momentarily gave up the lead, but retook it right away and took back the momentum. And going into the third quarter, they have been on a roll. So the question is for UP, how do they limit their careless mistakes, their turnovers?
Okay, let's get back to the play.
And for Sydney University, maintaining the perimeter defense, UP still struggling from beyond the arc. Terrence Fortea getting it inside to Gani Stevens. Gani Stevens.
Foul by Lions.
Lions.
Number 7, Jake Weinstein.
Jake Weinstein gets called for the foul with the
third
reach in there. So it's the team's third foul on the quarter. And Weinstein's third, Jake Weinstein's third as well. So Keanu Goring comes in to give Weinstein a breather. So here's UP with the inbounds. Fortea, the catch and shoot, the 3-pointer. So that's Terrence Fortea's third 3-pointer of the evening, of the afternoon. Oh, and a steal by Terrence Fortea. Fortea sprays it. Briones behind the back move. Briones, the mid-range, no good. Sydney with the rebound. Robbie Moore. Robbie Moore passing it back to Iggy Mitchell. Hook pass. Robbie Moore, Iggy Mitchell from the wing. The 3 is short. Fortea gets the rebound. Fortea. UP trying to mount a comeback. Oh, here's a strong move inside by Palanca. Oh, but he's called for the travel.
Lions ball.
So as you can see, maybe his right foot actually, the pivot foot came off and he gets called for the travel. 5-minute mark. Sydney with an 11-point lead. Robbie Moore from the top of the key. Keanu Goring back to Moore. Keanu Goring in the wing. Bounce pass. Ball movement. Not a lot of time left on the shot clock. Robbie Moore, the 3-pointer attempt. No good. Gani Stevens comes up with the rebound. Here's Remogat. And it's a 3-point attempt by Palanca. His foot might have been on the line, but regardless, no good. Iggy Mitchell, reverse lane, the up and under. So Iggy Mitchell with a strong move. And Sydney with yet again a 13-point lead. Here's Ramogat and Fortea. Fortea guarded by Mitch Smith. Back to Fortea, this is a mismatch. Fortea, the floater, does not go in. And Robbie Moore gets the rebound. Iggy Mitchell, the ball's deflected up in the air. Polanka gets it. Kicking it ahead. And the three-point attempt by Ramogat is no good. Keanu Goring with the rebound. So UP having a little tough time scoring in this third quarter. Here's Jesse Weinstein playing the point. Hand off back to him. Probably trying to want to use Iggy Mitchell somehow, but gives it up. And here is Terrence Fortea. Oh, cannot finish off the steal. Robbie Moore. So that's a layup. Points left on the board for UP. Keanu Goring swings it back to Iggy Mitchell. Iggy Mitchell knocks down the three again. So his fourth three of the afternoon is 25 points for him now. Here's Ramogat to Fortea. Fortea, quick move. Iggy, Gani Stevens, and here's Briones. Back out, Ramogat. The three-pointer is short. Oh, guys hit the deck. Robbie Moore. So Sydney getting into their half-court offense here. Iggy Mitchell, Robbie Moore thinks about it. Would have been a deep three. Goring, Robbie Moore, back to Iggy Mitchell. Will this be his sixth three of the night? Is no good. UP gets the rebound, but gives it up. Inside to Mitch Smith, a lot of contact, no basket, and they do call a foul after. So Mitch Smith ends up getting called for the foul on the floor. So Sydney University outpacing the UP Fighting Maroons 19-9 in this third quarter, as they are pulling away. 67-51 score. I mean, when you consider the Fighting Maroons are the reigning college champs in the Philippines, maybe a surprise. Luciano gets a bucket there, but you know, Sydney University is no team to sneeze at as well. They were fourth in the WUBS last year. They were runners-up in their domestic college league last year in the UBL. Here's Jesse Weinstein, the layup. Oh, and a travel is called. So a turnover by Sydney University.
Substitution, UP, number 30, Yoyogi. And number 10, Fortea.
So UP having a tough go at it in this third quarter, but trying to mount a comeback. Under 2 minutes left in the third quarter. Fortea attacks. Fortea, the floater, it's good. So now it's a 12-point game. But Sydney maintaining this double-digit lead for most of this second half now. Jesse Weinstein going with the left hand. Rebound UP. Fortea kicks it ahead. Jerry Abajano with the pull-up mid-range. It's no good. And Sydney comes up with the rebound. Sydney University, that was Keanu Goring with a strong move to the basket. 4 points on the day. And now it's a 14-point lead. Here's Seven Gagate at the wing position. Jerry Abajano, the deep three is short. And a foul call on the rebound.
Foul, number 7, Gagate.
Number seven Gagate is called for the foul, his first personal. UP second on the quarter. Jake Weinstein checks in for Sydney University. Jake Weinstein bringing the ball up. A lot of pressure from UP. He gets out of it. And here is a move by Skelton. So Chandler Skelton with his 7th point of the game. And Sydney now takes a 16-point lead. So with roughly 10 seconds left here, UP wants to get on the board on this final possession here. Mark Belmonte, right-hand layup is good as we close out the third quarter here. But it is now a 14-point Sydney University lead. It's a 71-57 score. So the UP Fighting Maroons facing yet another uphill battle as they are down 14 points. Sydney University with a 71-57 lead. And it has been Iggy Mitchell all afternoon, number 2. This man right here, 25 points so far today. Knocking down the threes from every which way. And also scoring inside. So Iggy Mitchell with 4 3-pointers and 25 points. Meanwhile, the differential between the teams. So Sydney's still struggling with their efficiency, but 5 of 20 from 3. Meanwhile, UP, 2 of 25, so that's 8%. Only 2 threes made on the game. And we introduced you the stat at the half, it was 2 of 19. So since in the third quarter, UP has gone on to shoot 0 for 6 from beyond the arc. So it's been a very tough day for the Fighting Maroons from beyond the arc, and that's hurting them big time. So a 14-point Sydney University lead as we begin the fourth quarter here. Jake Weinstein to Josh Spark. Knocks down the 3. So Josh Spark, who had sat on the bench all day, comes in and knocks down his first shot, his 3-pointer. So now Sydney up 17. Terrence Fortea with a 3. UP has only made, as a team, 2 3-points today, both of which have come from Terrence Fortea. And here's Jerry Abajano. Abajano driving. Abajano, nice move inside, but cannot finish. Meanwhile, here's Ben Williams. Throws it back. Jake Weinstein gets in the paint. Nice footwork, but could not finish. And here's UP playing fast. Abajano with the 3-point attempt is off the mark. So a couple more 3-pointers missing for UP. Sydney University. Jake Weinstein, Sydney in their half-court offense. Weinstein, crossover move, a lane to open up, left-hand layup. So 8 points today. And now they have a 19-point lead. So Sydney University on a significant run here. Inside to Mark Belmonte, a lot of contact, but doesn't get the call, and no basket either. And here is Josh Spark, left all alone with the layup, so he just came in, and now he has 5 points. Here's Abajano. Now inside. Sydney draws the foul. It was Miguel Iniguez who gets fouled.
Number 7, Jake Weinstein.
Let's take a look at the fast break that we just saw here
And teams first.
from our backboard angle. Josh Spark, after the 3-pointer, now a quick layup, had defeated the UP's line of defense. So it's been very tough for UP with either turnovers or missed threes, which are leading to Sydney University's fast breaks and easy points. Terrence Fortea throws it back. Miguel Iniguez spins, turns around, no good. And here's Sydney University on the move again. Jake Weinstein using the Ben Williams screen now, spraying it. The deep 3 is no good. Loose ball. UP. Mark Belmonte loses the handle on that. So this has kind of been a theme for UP. Missed threes and turnovers, which are leading to fast breaks. And even when they get their own fast break, yes, they're maybe rushing it a little bit, losing the handle, and giving up the basketball. So we have a bit of a stoppage here as the table officials are adjusting the shot clock. 21 seconds left here. So as play resumes, here's Fortea with a pull-up J. No good. Gani Stevens fouled on the putback attempt.
Number 6, Skelton.
So,
his second, and team's third.
2.5 minutes or so into the fourth quarter, and UP still has not had a score.
And number 2, Iggy Mitchell.
78-57, 19 points in the University lead as Iggy Mitchell checks back in. Iggy Mitchell with 25 points on the day. So here's Gani Stevens with a couple free throw attempts. He misses the first attempt. Gani Stevens had previously been 2 for 2 from the line. He has 8 points today. UP fans, they don't give up the fight, that's for sure. Ben Williams with the rebound. Baseball pass, nice ball movement. Brandon Salas with the bucket. So now it's a 23-point lead for Sydney University. Raylan Torres working the baseline. Raylan Torres trying to back in now and draws the foul from Chandler Skelton. Under 7 minutes left in the fourth quarter. As John Fellas Silva checks in for UP. Chandler Skelton, as you can see, his second personal. Off the inbounds, it's a Abajano against Iggy Mitchell. He has 2 steals already today. From the corner, the three, Terrence Fortea knocks it down. So still an uphill battle. Despite Fortea's 3 and 15 points on the night, UP still down 20. Ben Williams, nice find, and a nice bucket. So guys on the same page. Williams to Skelton, and Terrence Fortea with a quick 3, but that's no good, and Skelton gets the rebound. So Iggy Mitchell bringing the ball up, calling the play. Iggy Mitchell to Williams. Williams in a crowd here. And he is called with the travel. Sydney, nevertheless, with a 22-point lead. Here's Belmonte. Belmonte taking it in himself, no block. Another chance, Gani Stevens can't get it. Jesse Weinstein. Jesse Weinstein driving, straight line drive, a pass, and an N1. Nice find. Ben Williams with the bucket and the foul.
Foul, UP number 20.
So,
it's going to be his third personal, team's first. And
so Ben Williams in the right spot.
11, Robbie Moore. And for UP,
but, you know, Jesse Weinstein, for a young player, having the wherewithal to find his open teammate as he's driving head first into the paint. And here's Chico Briones who checks in.
One shot.
Chico Briones with 4 points on the afternoon. Ben Williams gets the free throw, and Sydney has a 25-point lead now. So the lead getting a little bit more comfortable for Sydney University. We're at the 5-minute mark of the final quarter. Aboggiano drives, pulls up. The jumper is short. Iggy Mitchell gets the rebound. Iggy Mitchell bringing it up. Well, he has been a revelation these last 2 days, but this three is short. Robbie Moore there to clean it up. The roll is good. So this quarter, it's been a 16-3 quarter for Sydney. Here Chico Briones. Donnie Stevens in the low post, but it's knocked away. And the ball last touched by UP, so it's Sydney ball. So UP obviously not giving up the fight, but this fourth quarter, let alone the third quarter being a tough one, but the fourth quarter has been even tougher. A 16-3 quarter for Sydney University, and obviously, not giving up the fight right up until the final whistle. Sydney, the layup, no good. And here's Terrence Fortea. Terrence Fortea with the pull-up three. Terrence Fortea, no good. Iggy Mitchell gets the rebound. Iggy Mitchell, who had a double-double yesterday, he pulls up for the three. That is an air ball. Iggy Mitchell today with 25 points and 4 assists. So timeout called here. 4:33 left. Sydney University with a 27-point lead. If Sydney were to win this game and move on, they would be facing NCCU, National Chengchi University from Chinese Taipei, in tomorrow's 5th place game. Let's look at the leading scorers from the game. The Lions, Iggy Mitchell leading the charge with 25. Robbie Moore with 13. Robbie Moore is just as steady as they come. 13 points yesterday, 13 points today. Mitch Smith contributing with 10. Chandler Skelton, who didn't make the lineup yesterday, with 9. And Jake Weinstein is chipping in with points too. And meanwhile, UP, Terrence Fortea with 15 points. Yoruko with 10. Belmonte 8. Gani Stevens with 8. And 7 Gagate with 5 points. I guess the glaring omission here is that we don't see Jerry Aboggiano's name, or also Harold Alarcon, who's been scratched both yesterday and today. So he has been unavailable to the team. He is one of the top scorers on the team. And also Jerry Aboggiano, the captain and the heartbeat of UP, not having a great series stats-wise. Even yesterday was limited to 7 minutes, so having a tough go at it. Chico Briones' three-point attempt misses. Gani Stevens gets the rebound. Briones again, spins. The layup, nice move there. So, Briones chips in with a couple points. Here's Sydney. They're trying to close out the game. The drive, Salas. And the ball was deflected by UP. But there's Jerry Aboggiano, as you can see, having a tough game again today. 4 points. Yesterday he ended up with 2 points on 7 minutes.
Substitution Lions number 6, Chandler Skelton.
Chandler Skelton with 9 points subbing in for Sydney University. So Indy Faithful, the head coach of Sydney University, using all of his players, all 12 of his players today. Yesterday, he only played 9. Salas, Spark, the three-pointer, no good. Gani Stevens, pardon me, Chico Briones with the rebound. Briones pulls up for the three, it's no good. And here is putback attempt, it is good. So an N1 by number 17, Miguel Palanca. So the young Palanca, who didn't play yesterday, gets the putback and draws the foul.
First personal.
Palanca up to 5 points today. So, he's going to be one of those guys that UP is going to be counting on going forward. Of course, L.A. Andres, another guy, another rotation guy forward, did not see playing time in the last 2 days. Was scratched both days. So I guess Goldie Monteverde giving the young guys opportunities, and guys like Polanca are taking advantage.
Following UP number 16, Lemogat. It's going to be his second.
So Remogat is called for the foul here.
Number 3, Salas.
Brandon Salas goes to the line. This is the free throw. Salas with 2 points today. He had 4 points yesterday. It was Remogat's foul. 3:20 left. Sydney trying to pull away here. The 23-point lead again. And a kick ahead pass. Briones, the baseline move. Briones, strong move and draws the foul. So Chico Briones.
Foul lines number 21.
Chico Briones with 10 points yesterday. And he is a guy that obviously UP is counting on. Fourth-year senior, the small forward. He's 198 centimeters, 6'6". He's going to be counted on for the upcoming UAAP 88 season. Makes the free throw. In the preseason, he averaged 12 minutes a game. So he is one of those rotation guys which adds depth to the team. But you look at these last 2 games and UP really struggling in certain areas. Here's Sydney again with the score. It was Chandler Skelton. So today, I think UP struggling so much with their 3-point attempts that, again, it's causing Sydney to go on these fast breaks and getting into the paint easily. Here's a swat by Gani Stevens. And a back and forth here. The 3-pointer by Remogat. But it might be a little bit too late here. Remogat with 4 points on the night, his first 3. Remogat obviously a very instrumental part of the preseason cup as well, but he has been pretty quiet the last 2 days. A foul is called in the paint here.
Number 19.
Indy faithful. Sydney, after this win today, they're going to be playing tomorrow.
Number 10.
Local time, it'd be August 11th. Actually, Sydney University has a flight to catch tomorrow night from Haneda and flies overnight on a red-eye to Sydney. And 2 days later, they begin their UBL season. So a really, really tight schedule for the Sydney University Lions. Here's a drive, and it's good. So another bucket by Johnny Woodcock. So the second unit getting it done for Sydney University. Here's Remogat, the long 3. And here's Sydney University. So really struggling from the 3-point line has been the theme today for UP. Yesterday, part of the problem was giving up a lot of 3s in the first half to Korea University, so it was their perimeter defense. Yesterday, they allowed Korea University to go on a 19-1 run to start the game. They also had 18 turnovers. Turnovers had a big hand in those Korea fast break 3s. Here's a Josh Park 3. That's no good, and the ball goes out of bounds. It's UP ball. So yesterday, UP made a valiant effort in the fourth quarter, tied it in the fourth, almost came back to win the game, but they ended up losing to Korea University 75-71. And in today's consolation round, they took a lead in the second quarter momentarily, but then gave it up. And ever since, they've been trailing. It's been a very, very tough WUBS two games for them. Remogat, another turnover. So Sydney bringing the ball up and draws the foul on the break. So Johnny Woodcock As you see, the starters are all cheering from the bench.
Number 16, Remogad. It's going to be his third.
Remogad gets charged with the foul.
Woodcock at the line, shooting one.
Johnny Woodcock, a fifth-year senior for Sydney University, and not always in the rotation, so at least not at the WUBS. So obviously his teammates very happy for his success and the playing time and his production today. A deep three made by Remogad. So finally in the fourth quarter, he's heating up, but again, it's gonna be too late. UP trapping, Sydney University getting out of it. Josh Spark with the wing three, it's short. Here's UP with the rebound, kicking it ahead. Terrence Fortea knocks down the three. So finally in these dying minutes, UP's three-point shooting heating up, but definitely gonna be too late as Sydney University has a 17-point lead here. Behind the back bounce pass, a nice move. Brandon Salas can't finish, but draws the foul. So a highly skilled bunch, Sydney University. Their offense did struggle against NSSU Nittaitai yesterday. Of course, they did have a chance to win it on the last shot of the game, but ended up losing by a point. And today, they showed out. Iggy Mitchell looking on from the bench. He had 25 points today. Former NBL player, developmental player. I mean, what a couple games it's been for him. He has been dominant. Developmental player for the Sydney Kings. A lot of these Sydney University players play on NBL 1 teams anyway, so I guess you could call them semi-pro college players. Here's UP, the jumper, misses. And so as we wrap up game 2 of day 2 here at the WUBS, Sydney University comes away with a 96-77 victory. Really the difference made in the third quarter, though, as they pulled away. They finished the third quarter with a 14-point lead and then kept pulling away. So Sydney University moves on to the final of the consolation bracket. So it's the 5th place game tomorrow. They'll be facing NCCU from Chinese Taipei. Meanwhile, for the University of the Philippines Fighting Maroons, this is the end of their road here at the WUBS. Let's take a look at these highlights then. Man, oh man, this is going to be the Iggy Mitchell show, no doubt. But early on, it was a pretty tight game. Gani Stevens with the layup to open up the scoring. But then Iggy Mitchell knocks down the three. So as you saw on the scoreboard in the background there, UP did have a 4-point lead early on. Trying to change the script today. That was Briones' long two. Looked like a three, but his foot was on the line. And again, we talked about this and we saw this all afternoon, but UP's inept three-point shooting led to a lot of Sydney University's easy scores, and Iggy Mitchell was a thorn in UP's side all day long. Here is a bucket and a foul. And then this is UP trying to battle in the paint, and guys like Mark Belmonte and Miguel Palanca, young forwards, they really fought valiantly, but again, a lot of the turnovers or missed threes led to fast breaks by Sydney University. UP ended up missing their first 15 three-point attempts. But here's 7 Gagate with the N1. And then Sydney going the other way. So again, it was a pretty tight affair in the second quarter. In fact, after Sydney took a 10-point lead, UP, you see Terrence Fortea's turnaround jumper. UP went on an 11-0 run. And UP actually momentarily takes a 1-point lead. That was Fortea's 3. But then Sydney getting the lead right back. So this was the Nyoruka bucket, which gave them the lead. But then UP started knocking down those threes. However, Sydney would not back down. They would retake the lead, and that's Mid-Smith getting the N1. They finished the half with a 6-point lead. And then later on, Iggy Mitchell. Iggy Mitchell, who had 25 points. He had knocked down 4 threes on the afternoon. And again, the theme of the day, especially in the second half, UP turnovers. And I guess these were all critical turnovers. I guess you look at the stat sheet, they only finished with 12 turnovers, 6 turnovers, but still turnovers coupled with three-point shooting that was inefficient led to Sydney. Iggy Mitchell with another 3, but led to Sydney's easy buckets. Here is Jake Weinstein with the left-hand layup. And then Terrence Fortea, who yesterday had 14 points, had 18 today, knocked down 4 threes, but that was just not enough. Later on in the game, it was the second unit from Sydney that came up big. Chico Briones showing us some moves there, but again, a lot of the major contributors in the preseason cup and even in last season for UP's success as they went to the title game and won the championship in the regular season and the playoffs and then in the preseason cup. A lot of their major pieces were missing today or did not show up. Jerry Abajano, the captain, ended up with just 4 points. So final score here, 96-77. And again, the three-point shooting. Sydney didn't end up shooting all that well either, just 22%, but look at UP. They knocked down several in the last moments, but still ended up with just 16% from beyond the arc. So that was really the difference of the game. Missing those threes, leading to Sydney University's fast break. So a tough game for the University of the Philippines, a tough couple games here in their WUBS debut. Take a look at the tournament bracket. So, as you see in the bottom right here, 5th place game bracket, game 5, which is earlier today, NCCU defeated Hong Kong University, and Sydney University defeats UP. So now they play in the 5th place game tomorrow. And also, if you look at this bracket, the semifinals coming up after this game right now is De La Salle versus the JUBF select team. And Nippon Sports Science University, Nittei will face Korea University. So 2 of the Japanese teams advancing to the semifinals. Those are going to be some fun games to watch. So these are the scores, the recap earlier today. National Chengchi University with a resounding victory against the University of Hong Kong. And right now you saw Sydney defeat the University of the Philippines. Coming up after this, potentially the #1 team in the tournament, De La Salle, facing JUBF Select team. So that is going to be a very interesting matchup. Let's see how JUBF Select holds up. And after that, it's Nikkei Dai versus Korea University. That is going to be a fun matchup as well. So, you'll see if these two Japanese teams advance to the finals. These two semifinals coming up. Going to be a lot of fun. So, Sydney defeats the University of the Philippines. Today in game 2 of day 2, we have 2 more games on the slate. The semifinals coming up after this.